Everyone, every single person right now is crossing their fingers and hoping that, yes, Liz Cheney, you run for president. Because people on the left are saying, Liz is such a principled Republican and she could restore the Republican Party. And then people on the right are like, that would be the funniest smackdown in U.S. political history when Donald Trump roasts Liz Cheney on stage in the GOP primaries. Liz Cheney says she is thinking about running for president following her resounding primary defeat. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what is it? 38 points. Liz Cheney lost by 38 points. This is a landslide for Hageman. This is a blowout for Liz Cheney. She was just obliterated. You know what the funniest thing about it is? We're doing Timcast IRL last night. And we called it Liz Cheney Defeat Watch Party. And people are like, don't jinx it, don't jinx it. And then I'm like, I don't even know if we're going to get the results in time. And then at like 9:25, Ian is like, so what? We're not going to know if she won or lost for 3 days. And then we all laughed. And then I think Derek Harvey mentioned like, and then you got the 3 a.m. ballots. And then you got the next week ballots. And then with 4% reporting, I am going to stress this for all of you, 4% reporting. They called it for Hageman. Ooh, that's how bad it was for Liz Cheney. And now she's saying she's thinking about running for president. Okay, so she gets asked. I'll show you this. She gets asked, right? Let me see if
the former president said last night, you're now headed to political oblivion. You said this fight is just beginning. You've even launched a political organization already. So let's just be straight about it. Are you considering running for president yourself?
Well, what I'm going to do, Savannah.
Okay. Here she goes, saying, I'm going to keep the fight up against Donald Trump. And then the host for today says, you know, with all due respect, you didn't answer the question.
We'll be doing whatever it takes to keep Donald Trump out of the Oval Office.
Well, I know you didn't say yes or no, and that's fine if you're thinking about it. But are you thinking about it? Are you thinking about running for president?
That's a decision that I'm going to make in the coming months, Savannah. I'm not going to make any announcements here this morning, but it is something that I'm thinking about, and I'll make a decision in the coming month.
She is thinking about running for president. Please. I'd like to give a shout out to Timcast's good friend, Adam Kinzinger. Of course, I mean that obviously facetiously. Kinzinger said, Liz Cheney will chase Donald Trump to the gates of hell. Wow. Adam, I know Liz Cheney is going to hell, but I don't think she'll find Donald Trump there. Zinger. I can't believe he actually said that. Liz Cheney will chase Donald Trump to the gates of hell. You could say a bunch of different things like, yes, but not by choice. The one I just did, yes, but she's not going to find Donald Trump there. Or quite simply, you can keep Donald Trump out of it and be like, yes, we get it, Adam. Liz Cheney is going to hell. Many of us agree. The warmongering neocon establishment shills are being removed. And it is glorious to see. Now, Liz Cheney lost. And let me just talk about, wow, amazing. I'm surprised she won any precincts at all. But let's just talk about the narcissism, the psychopathy of a person like Liz Cheney. First, I'd like you all to bask in the sweet glory that is a near 38-point spread. Yo, last night, Jack was like, are we going to see a 30-point spread between Hageman and Cheney? Like, that's how bad it's going to be. And I'm like, I think it's going to be more. And it was more, almost 40%. And I'm just like, who is voting for this person, right? And who else are they voting for? And as much as we can laugh about Liz Cheney losing, I just want to point out 49,000 people voted for her. Yo, Wyoming, what's up? Wyoming is MAGA country. They have one congressional district. It's at large because I think there's only like 500,000 people living there. Yo. MAGA country, the number one most Trump supporting state in 49,000. I mean, she still got 28.9% of the state. As much as we can gloat and laugh about Liz Cheney being voted out, it is still kind of sad that it wasn't, like 99% Hageman. To be fair to like Anthony Bouchard or whoever else, 95% Hageman. Fine, whatever. You ready for this? Jack Posobiec Liz Cheney compares herself to Abraham Lincoln. That's right, Jack. And she also compared herself to Ulysses S. Grant. I cannot, no. I want to say I can't believe it, but knowing this woman, I can believe it. The narcissistic, the malignant narcissism that is deeply evil people like Liz Cheney. Let me tell you. January 6th is a sham. It's a lie. The January 6th committee hearings, okay? It's non-adversarial. They've already lied on numerous occasions. They smeared me, Jamie Raskin, and then Raskin's had the nerve to send me texts requesting money. No joke, because they do these blanket texts where they just spam people. It's like, bro, screen your lists before you text people. Okay, how about that? But they're lying. That's what they do. And Liz Cheney, she's coming out and they got these uniparty shills being like, Liz Cheney could have chosen, I think the Lincoln Project said something like this. She could have chosen to be the representative if she just went along with Trump's lies, but she refused and chose honor instead. No, quite the opposite. Liz Cheney could have stood up for the people. You can, let me just tell you guys, I think Donald Trump is wrong about the fraud narrative. I have seen a lot of the claims. I have seen questionable circumstances. And I think people on the right underestimate the power of mass media. And I think the fact that they're trying to indict Trump and destroy Alex Jones shows they don't have the control you think they have. You can and will win if you just do not submit to defeatism. If you go out and get all your friends and go out. But here's the point. I think Trump's wrong. Now, certainly, if you want to make arguments, as I said the other day, about changing voter rules and stuff, we're in agreement on that one. Pennsylvania expanded universal mail-in voting. I think these things heavily favor Democrats. So we get it, right? We get it. Now, the point is, I can disagree with all of the Trump supporters and Trump and still say he's the better choice for president and not be what Liz Cheney is. If Liz Cheney wanted to stand on principle, she could say something like, I will not agree or side with Democrats. They've done horrible, bad things. And Donald Trump is wrong about this. But we need someone to secure the border, help bring jobs back for the working class, things that we were seeing, help American energy independence, resist garbage policies, woke nonsense. Instead, she's throwing in with the cult and then claiming it's for honor. No, if you were principled, you'd say you're a Republican, but they've gone too far and here are the things they're doing that's wrong. Instead, she's leading a crusade against the one guy standing in the way of all of these things. No, she's a uniparty establishment shill who compares herself to Abraham Lincoln. They're clapping. Yeah, come on.
The great and original champion of our party, Abraham Lincoln, was defeated in elections for the Senate and the House before he won the most important election of all.
We knew it, that she was going to try and run for president. And man, when you are defeated to such a mind-blowingly insane degree, to think that you can run for president is just insane. Are you going to run as a Democrat? You think at the national level Republicans are going to vote for you? You're nuts. It's remarkable. And this is what really grinds my gears. When people look, if you want to come out and talk about rule changes, as I mentioned in the fraud stuff, please do so. These are important things to address. Georgia, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, voter in the park. The ballot drop boxes have been ruled illegal. All of these things, please criticize and highlight. These are procedural things that took place before the election that heavily favored Democrats. We need to get rid of those things. But what I can't stand is when people come out and say, well, they're going to cheat anyway. And I'm like, no, sorry. I don't care if you really believe it. You cannot come out 3 months before the midterms after watching Carrie Lake win, after watching Liz Cheney get defeated, after seeing 8 of the 10 Republicans who went up against Donald Trump to impeach him, and only 2 of them have managed to eke out a win. You cannot watch the crushing defeats they faced with nearly every endorsement Donald Trump gave, won, and then be like, we can't win anyway because no. I can't do it, man. I understand. You want to do inquiries, you want to do investigations. Of course, go for it, please. But right now, there's one thing we need to be doing. We need to be saying they have broken their ranks. The center is collapsing among the establishment. It is time to charge forward, get 10 of your friends, and go out and vote because the enemy has been routed. This is that moment not to be screaming, but they've got more powerful weapons, and what's the point? No, now's the time to say, Liz Cheney has been obliterated with a 38-point spread. Wow. She got crushed. Carrie Lake dominating, sweeping Arizona. And she wants those investigations too. Great. Whatever it is you believe. When you get America First populists into Congress, and we can actually start to put pressure on the uniparty, as we've already been doing, y'all are winning. They're going after Alex Jones with everything they have because of how influential he is. And look, and I can say it again, why Liz Cheney is dishonorable? Because I can be critical of Alex Jones for a lot of things he said and still defend his right to have a platform and report the news. And look, when you can't defame people. I think they've gone way over the top with these suits. But the point is, you can be critical of someone while still recognizing what they do and their right to do it. Or, very often, why it's better that they're doing it compared to the machine. Like Liz Cheney would rather have Joe Biden. It's just patently absurd. The man, the quid pro quo with Ukraine, Hunter Biden, the crack pipe, all that stuff. And she has the nerve to come. You can come out and be like, I don't like Donald Trump, fine. But the Democrats are just off their rails and we can't have Hunter Biden and Joe doing whatever it is they're doing. No, but she is a narcissistic uniparty shill who is outraged that Donald Trump came into their party. It's my party. Yeah, she could, but she doesn't want to do it. So let me stress one more time before we read more on the hilarity that is Liz Cheney's defeat. Let me just say it once again. Ladies and gentlemen, there are many people standing in ranks in this great political battle as we enter the midterms. Voting is more important than ever across the board, and so is grassroots organizing. Y'all have done a tremendous job going out and voting and getting rid of these awful uniparty neocon establishment trash politicians like Liz Cheney. The war is not yet over. The midterms are coming up, and the most important thing is that you go get all of your friends. You go door to door, politely and calmly, knocking and asking people if they've gone to vote, if they've registered. Take your cues from Scott Pressler. Help register people to vote. That is one of the major indicators of victory. I was reading a study, and it said something like 80% of people who register to vote in the year they registered, or something like that. Like they will vote their first election after registering. This is what needs to happen: is the grassroots activism. Watching the Democrat, uniparty, Republican, neocon establishment break ranks, and their center is collapsing. This is the time to go out and vote. And then we'll see 40 seats lost in the House. We'll see the Senate flip Republican, and maybe then we can get some real accountability or at least some pushback. I'm not confident Republicans are going to do what everyone needs to do or what needs to be done. But this is what we're watching right now. Liz Cheney being ousted. This is the change to the Republican Party to bring in the people who will do those things. And that's why I've been saying the nonstop, the primaries are the most important things. And sure enough, Donald Trump's endorsements, they win. They want to claim all these awful things about Trump. Yeah, Trump deserves to be criticized, but y'all are nuts for supporting the Democrats and their insanity. They're burning this country to the ground. Liz Cheney blames 37-point loss on Trump and says she is thinking about running for president, accuses Donald of lying about Mar-a-Lago raid, slams Republicans, and says nation is facing biggest challenge since the Civil War. Ah, here we go. Lady, you lost. You've lost. Good. I want to give a shout out to Dave Riaboy. He has a great thread, a great article. He says, if Donald Trump really is the, quote, greatest ever threat to our republic, what's the limiting principle? What kinds of civil liberties violations doesn't it justify? It's a really, really good point. He says some of us are looking back on the war on terror and realizing that these people are just addicted to the idea of confronting a monumental evil. And if there's no actual evil around that's monumental enough, no worries, their opposition takes on all of those attributes. They could have gone up against wokeness and communism. That's a shame because obviously there are evils out there. But there's a political personality type that rewatches Churchill in World War II documentaries, wistfully hoping they too could one day do battle with apocalyptic forces. That impulse is natural, but it can be perverted. I think the first thing Dave said is really, really important. What's the limiting principle? There isn't one. He wrote an article, A Few Good Reasons to Hate Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney hates Donald Trump so much. She is so narcissistic and psychotic. These people's brains have shattered. There's no nuance. There's no context. That they don't care to destroy the fabric of this country, to go after evil. He's taking over my party. I don't care about Hillary Clinton losing her party, and I don't care about the Republicans, Mitch McConnell or Mitt Romney or Liz Cheney losing their party. I am sick of the corporate establishment shills and their lies. Marjorie Taylor Greene has got merchandise saying defund the FBI. And along comes the leftists screaming and hooting and yelling at her. And I'm like, bro, you've won. Jimmy Dore, oh, look, he's trending. He comes out and says, when right-wing people come out and agree with you, you say, thank you, you're correct. Yes, please. You don't start spitting on them. And that's how you know these people are cultists. And the same is true for many people on the right. You know, I see people like AOC. She was, you had Alex Stein called her a big booty Latina. And then she got all mad about it. And she said they need Capitol security, but something interesting happened. She went on to say that she doesn't know who opened the doors, that there are police inside the Capitol building that had opened the doors, or someone did, and they want an investigation into who. And I was like, yes, AOC is correct. And a lot of people started ragging on her. And I'm like, why are you ragging on her? She's right. This is what I can't stand. I'm not going to insult Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez when she says things that are correct. I'm going to criticize her, and I will rag on her when she lies, when she's manipulative. You know, like she lied about the Capitol story in the first place when she was like, the cop came to her door and knocked and said, where is she? And she's like, oh no, they made it to my room. I might die. The story happened a full hour before the Capitol was breached. She made it up. It didn't happen. Someone may have come to her room, but she wasn't scared for her life. That made no sense unless she's paranoid and delusional. And so I'll criticize her for that, hands down. But the moment she comes out and she says, we need an investigation into the cops on January 6th, I'm like, yes, AOC, you're correct. Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't understand why it's so hard for so many people. Now, to be fair, on the right, what do I end up seeing? Disaffected liberals, the politically homeless, these individuals are standing with conservatives. And it's not because it's a cult. It's because conservatives are more likely to hold these positions, that you can praise AOC when she's right and criticize her when she's wrong. But on the left, they praise Liz Cheney because she hates Trump. That makes no sense. She's a terrible person. Now, I've seen some leftists, no joke, say she votes in line with Donald Trump. She supports war. She's an establishment. She's the daughter of Dick Cheney. Like, you know, we don't want to blame someone for the sins of the father, but you can see that her politics are rooted in her family. Like, her values are represented by, by her actions, and it's so similar to what Dick Cheney did. You can't see the resemblance, and the left doesn't care. They say if she loses, the Republican Party is dead. What, you're happy the Republican Party was a bunch of neocons? Yeah, it's laughable, man. On the right, it's the exception. On the left, it's the rule. The left is a tribalist cult that will support Liz Cheney if it helps them hate Donald Trump. The right, it's the exception. It does happen, but the rule is self-reflection. And I think maybe this is a remnant of censorship. This is what we've seen, this is what I've mentioned going back to the Joe Rogan podcast. That here's what happens: they ban the most egregious right-wing individuals, the most egregious. And so the prominent personalities on the right end up being more moderate, center-right and right-wing, not far-right. On the left, they allow them to say whatever they want. So the most prominent voices are the most insane. And so what you end up getting is a pragmatic, moderate, conservative coalition. And on the left, you get psychotic nonsense, cult, circular firing squad. It's almost like, I got to tell you, my conspiracy theory right now, and I'm not saying it's true, I'm just saying it's a funny conspiracy theory, is that the FBI and the government is actually helping Trump. That's right. Liz Cheney is actually trying to help Trump. The FBI trying to help Trump. That's right. The conspiracy theory goes, China is undermining the U.S. and propping up wokeness and other insanity. And see, the FBI and people in government know this. And they also know that if they come out supporting Trump, it's not going to work and there's going to be further destabilization. So what they need to do is they need to actually oppose Trump. That's right. Why? When the FBI raided Trump, his polling improved. Liz Cheney going after Trump proves the insanity and tribalism of the establishment left. So everything they're doing is just helping Donald Trump and helping America First populists. It's almost like it's on purpose, isn't it? Or, as fun as that may sound, the reality is they're just insane people who do things that are so insane they're driving regular people away and they're going to lose. I look at everything they've done and I say, you know what? We are winning. The moderates, the more libertarian-minded people, the people who believe in American values, we're the ones winning. Be you a conservative or liberal. Naomi Wolf's a liberal, and she came out and she was like, the Democrats are trying to criminalize being a Republican. It's a funny thing for an old liberal to say, and she ragged on the cult and the attack on free speech and all that stuff. Many people have woken up to this. Liz Cheney is done. Goodbye. If she runs for president, it would be hilarious. There's no way she wins a primary, but she'll do it to sell books, right? Yeah, I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 1 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.